I went in this direction? Because we are talking about Abraham and women. That there are some things you don't tell. Eh? Because that's the only child. This woman had this child at the age of 90. He said God is telling you to kill, you will kill 2 of them that day. So there is something the book of Joshua added, the same record, that is interesting. What did Abraham tell Sarah that time you were taking Isaac? He didn't tell Sarah that I'm taking Isaac so that we can go and make sacrifice. She will ask, where is the lamb? You know what he told her? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob have a place they send their children for mentorship, to train them in priesthood. Guess where they send them? To the house of Noah. Do you remember that Noah lived for 950 years? Do you remember that? Eh? They see future generations. Almost 1,000 years. So Abraham went there for his own training. Joshua. So he told Sarah, I'm taking Isaac to the house of Noah so he can begin to learn priesthood and be trained for his future in ministry. And the woman followed them crying on the way. He said, don't let him stay too long. After a while, bring him back. If not, my soul will die in this house. Because my soul is knit to his soul. Only child. She cried halfway, followed them halfway. Abraham now covered and said, go home. It's all right. And she went home. And then him and the boy and those servants started moving to Mount Moriah. That mountain where they sacrificed the boy. If he returned and that boy didn't come back with him, he would have buried his wife that day. So it's not everything. In relationship, you study the person. If your wife is the type that finds it very hard to forgive, it's not every matter in church. You finish pastor's meeting, we discuss some things about this pastor that is, you come back and tell her. You can send your wife to hell because of that. A pastor had a problem because he had his wife and 2 children, and they were driving to service, and the truck hit them. He came out, nothing happened to him. The wife and the 2 boys died. So the church came, they did burial. But after the burial, the pastor refused to come to church. Yeah, this is true life. He refused. He was staying at home. Brethren were coming to encourage him. He said no. That God disappointed him. That God did not keep his covenant. So one Sunday, everybody went to church. He sat at home. Jesus paid him a visit. And he came with the 2 boys. He said, I do this only once in a while. I want you to know that you don't know what happened behind the scene. Let your own sons tell you. So he was so excited. The boys came in and said, Daddy, we're in heaven. We made it. And, we are very happy. We know that you are heartbroken, but you need to know that the most important thing is that you must make sure you come over here at the end of the day. You preached it in church, make sure you don't fall out and all of that. So he now said, okay. Where is your mom? He said, she didn't make it. He said, what do you mean by she didn't make it? He said, she went the other direction and went to hell. Then the man started crying again. He said, Lord, why? Why did you only save the children and didn't save her? And I said, he said, your wife, that's what caused the accident in the first place. She has been in bitterness with the leader of the women ministry. She, as a pastor's wife, you don't go and take up something you are not called to do. Check your ministry. If your ministry is children, go into children. If your ministry is music ministry, you can be in the choir. Or if you want to lead a choir, if your ministry is women ministry, go and lead women. Just because pastor's wife normally lead women doesn't mean you should. Some of you don't have the temperament. Your own bitterness is so. You can't forgive. You are troublesome. So God is trying to produce fruit of the Spirit in you. You go and take a ministry that is aggravating it. Because women, they are wahala plenty. He says, fight between. And she refused to forgive that woman. And the Lord kept talking to her. There will be messages, the Holy Spirit will follow her home, telling her, you see, enough now. A year passed, 2 years, 3 years. So the thing opened the door for them. Is that not what we studied in the first session today? The one that broke my heart is that she went to the other side. So, and the pastor later was advising other men of God. He said, you see this thing that sent her to hell? I'm the one that told her, because that case was brought to me. I know my wife that she doesn't forget. I shouldn't have told her. I know her. Forgiveness is her problem. I should not have told her what happened. He said after the Lord left that I started bearing guilt again that I contributed. So the Bible said, bear one another's burden and so fulfill the law of Christ. What is the law of Christ? The law of love. But another woman, she's like a warrior. She can even take things more than you, the man. See? So it's not a hard and fast rule. You have to study the situation. Just like what I said about managing money. There are some ladies, they will be the one, you are trying to even shop for her, buy her things. She will be the one even talking to you that we have not saved for the children's school fees, or we have not saved for house rent, or that we have to plan for January. Or you have that kind of wife, make her manager of family resources.